You know that feeling, right? You're trying to get a noisy room to quiet down, and the louder you get, it feels like the less anyone listens. It is so frustrating, and it happens all the time. But what if the secret to actually commanding a room wasn't about raising your voice at all, but lowering it? Okay, so let's dive into this. We're going to explore the art of quiet authority.
So, first up, let's talk about what we can call the classroom conundrum. And really, this is a scene that pretty much anyone, whether you're a teacher, a manager, heck, even a parent, you're going to recognize it instantly. It's that moment, that really frustrating moment, where you feel like you've just completely lost the room, and nothing you're doing seems to work.
Yeah, just look at this picture. I mean, this is the classic scenario, isn't it? You ask for quiet, and what do you get? Well, pretty much nothing. Half the class is chatting, a couple of people are just staring out the window, and you're just left standing there feeling totally invisible. This is the exact problem we're going to unpack.
So, how do we even begin to solve this? Well, first, we've got to understand where authority actually comes from. And the source material for this explainer breaks it down into two really distinct paths to power, what it calls formal versus natural authority. And, understanding the difference between these two, it's absolutely crucial if you want to master the art of control.
All right, so on one side, you've got formal authority. This is the power that just comes with your job title, right? Teacher, boss, parent, whatever. It's kind of transactional. People listen because, well, they have to. Then on the other side, you have natural authority. And this is totally different. This comes from rapport, from building a genuine connection where people actually want to listen to you. Now, the traditional view has always been that you have to establish that formal kind first before you can ever hope to earn the natural kind.
And this quote, oh man, this just perfectly sums up that old-school formal authority approach. It's a classic piece of advice for new teachers, and honestly, it's a little terrifying. The whole idea is, you have to be this firm, unsmiling figure of power first. And only then, maybe, after months have passed, you can reveal your human side. But here's the thing. There is another way.
Okay, so enough with the theory. Let's get into the practical stuff. The toolkit. How do you actually get a distracted group to focus on you without just shouting at them? This is where things get really, really interesting. Because believe it or not, the answers are surprisingly quiet. So the source material suggests focusing on these really subtle cues instead of loud demands. Think about it. Simple actions, like just tapping a table 3 times, or ringing a tiny bell. Or my favorite, the hand-raising cascade, where one student sees your raised hand and raises theirs, and it just spreads like a quiet wave through the room. See, what these methods do is create a ripple effect of quiet, not a big blast of noise. In this, right here, is the core paradox of the whole thing. Our gut instinct is to fight noise with more noise, right? But if you use a loud alarm or grab a bullhorn, you're probably just adding to the chaos. What the source material suggests is that these quieter, more unusual sounds or signals, they're actually harder for our brains to ignore. It's totally counterintuitive, but it works.
Okay, now this technique is just fantastic. It's called gathering authority. Before you even say a word, you become the calm center of the storm. You just stand there. You breathe slowly. You stand a little straighter. You project confidence. Then you say, listen, just once, quietly but firmly, and you cup your hand to your ear. That simple, confident gesture, it's incredibly powerful. It signals that you expect to be heard. And then you just wait. You make eye contact and you let social pressure do the heavy lifting as students start to notice you're calm and begin to quiet each other down. So the crucial point here is this. You're not demanding attention, you're attracting it. Huge difference.
All right, so you've gathered the room's attention. Now what? Well, let's talk about giving orders. Specifically, what do you do when you need to address just one person or maybe a small group that's being disruptive? As you're about to see, the exact same principles of calm control are going to be your best friend here too.
So check this out. Giving an order isn't just one thing. It's not black and white. It's a whole spectrum. You can start with a really soft proposal, something like, hey, do you think you could stop writing now? And then escalate all the way up to a firm, direct order. You must all stop writing now. The real key is knowing where you need to be on that continuum at any given moment.
And here they are, the golden rules. Do you notice the theme here? Don't speak when you're angry or irritated. Speak a little quieter than normal. Speak slowly. Let every word land. Keep it brief. Avoid shouting. No ridicule, no sarcasm. Every single one of these points is about one thing, removing negative emotion and tension from the whole interaction. You're not trying to start a battle.
You're just calmly stating a necessary reality.
Okay, let's bring all this home. We've looked at the theory, we've gone through some really specific techniques, and you know what? It all boils down to one powerful, super counterintuitive idea that just ties everything together.
So that brings us right back to our original question. When you're faced with all that chaos, all that chatter and distraction, what is the single most effective thing you can possibly do?
This is it. The answer is be the calm, quiet, and assured center. You don't rise to the level of the chaos. No, you become the anchor. Your quiet confidence becomes this kind of gravitational force, just pulling the focus of the entire room right back to you and creating order out of all that noise. And honestly, this quote from the source material just sums it all up perfectly. The obvious solution, the thing we all want to do, shout over the noise, it usually fails. It's the polar opposite, that calm and quiet assurance. That's what truly succeeds in establishing control and, maybe more importantly, respect.
And that really leaves us with one final question to think about. In a world that just seems to be getting louder and louder, what would it actually mean to have the confidence to be the quietest person in the room? How could you take this principle of calm authority and use it not just in a classroom or an office, but in, every part of your life?